Hello, my name is Alberto Val and I'm going to present the breakthrough of mobile robots in X-vessel operation inside nuclear reactor buildings, work developed at IST during the last years. Why remote handling? Given the radar conditions, it means that human being is not allowed inside the reactor during the maintenance operation. All the maintenance operations has to be performed remotely as illustrated on the right image. Why mobile robots? Because some of maintenance operations are operation of transportation between the reactor building and maintenance building for parking and recovery and rescue operations. We can see the image of the reactor building of ITER with 3 levels. At the bottom, you see a vehicle. This vehicle corresponds to the size of a bus. While the bus can weigh up to 20 tons, this vehicle can reach 100 tons. Why? Because there's lid to shield the activated loads to be transported. But it's not a single vehicle. We expect several vehicles in very narrow space. To have an idea, and taking into account again the example of ITER, each level of the reactor building has equivalent size of a soccer field. However, we are talking a cluttered scenario and the mobile robot has to navigate with safety margin of 30 centimeters. And sometimes the safety margin can reduce to 10 centimeters. So imagine you parking the car in your garage with 10 centimeters of safety margin. So the first work done at IST was the assessment of transportation technology in nuclear facilities, starting by the most used in industrial facilities like overhead transportation, overhead conveyors, bridge cranes, up to the most common ground transportation like old-fashioned rail vehicles, air cushion vehicles that was the first iteration proposed in ITER, to the wheeled vehicles with different kinematic configuration or more complex like a straddle carrier and combi lifts. Taking into account the example of ITER again, that was a CPRGS, the cask and plug remote handling system, as you can see on the left image, that is composed by the cask, the shielding part to transport the activated load, the pallet, the part that can support the cask, and the cask transfer system or the mobile robot more precisely. So this configuration, a rhombic vehicle, is something that we have to steer and motion wheels. So imagine that we have a car with 2 drivable wheels. With this type of configuration, we can perform grab motion, move forward, by side, by diagonal. We can perform rotations or just simply with free roaming, a mixture of both. So the next step is the motion planning. Maximize the clearance to obstacles, guarantee smoothness, minimize the path length. And it requires methodologies. We have developed line guidance and free roaming, trajectories, maneuvers, and finally maximization of common path. We can see the first example of line guidance. Then we use the rapid exploring random trees to get the free roaming. And finally, the maximization of a specific path to a given port cell with a common path. You can see this vehicle is entering to a port cell and the maximization of the common path using again RRT. Not only for ITER but also for DEMO, the demonstration power plant, we have developed hundreds of trajectories for vehicles, and we also developed the feasibility studies with modification of building design. Once you have the path, the next is the path following. We have developed 2 types of approach, geometric and kinematics. Geometric like a long Scalia, Stanley and arc path, and kinematic and nonlinear controlled based. We can see some examples on the pictures. This is an example of a simulation of one of the path following algorithms. We can see the optimized path computed for each wheel and also for the center of the vehicle, and the path following guiding the vehicle along the path. When it is approaching to the port cell, the velocity is reduced and then a maneuver is required. And look to the clearance when entering to the port cell. It's a very narrow space. We decide to replicate part of this scenario using a mockup. So we can see this is part of level B1 of the tokamak building of ITER that is equivalent to diverter level. We can also see the 3 laser rangefinder sensors, a prototype of the vehicle, and a computer with a software developed by IST to acquire data and control remotely the vehicle. Then we have computed the path, the same path using on a real scenario but scaled. And in particular, this prototype was resulted in a patent implementing in LEGO. In this video, it is possible to see the prototype following the optimized path, while the laser rangefinders are used to localize the vehicle in real time. When the vehicle is approaching to the port cell, reduce the velocity and perform a maneuver. The vehicle is entering in the port 16 of the reactor building level P1. For instance, if you're trying to use the vehicle falling now to the port cell 17, if you try to remove the vehicle outside of the original path, the control always guides the vehicle to the right position and to remain to the original path. The laser rangefinders are used to control the vehicle, while the image codes are only used for a ground truth. Look to the clearance to entering to a given port cell. It's a very narrow space. Then we have started to make the assessment of navigation technologies with physical path like wire guidance, optical line guidance, and magnetic tape guidance, comparing with the virtual path like magnetic gyro grid navigation, onboard and offboard laser rangefinders. Usually we use onboard laser on the robots, but in these scenarios we combine not only the onboard but with offboard for redundancy since the robot transport activated loads. And finally also the motion capture systems. Since we are not talking with a single robot, we have also developed algorithms for the logistics because you need to park different profiles and different vehicle dimensions, and we have to know how and where to park in the scenario. Since we are talking of trajectories, we need to evaluate the occupied volumes required to perform this trajectory. It means the space that should be empty to guide the vehicle along the optimized path. So we get the optimized path, then we can see the pose along the trajectory. We convert this in like a polygon, and then we extrude this to get a volume in 3D. So it results, for instance, in the demo reactor building, we get something like this shape. And if you're going to integrate with the CAD models, the colored part corresponds to the occupied volumes just for maintenance operation of transportation. We see different colors. That yellow corresponds just for the vehicle itself, like a crane or the ground vehicle. The blue part corresponds to the space required for the loads, while the pink ones corresponds to the recovery and rescue operation. Just for a comparison, assuming the size of an Olympic swimming pool, the entire space required for operations of transportation in demo is equivalent to 60 Olympic swimming pools. Then we have also developed risk analysis and mitigation actions to reduce this type of risk, not only for transportation in all levels of reactor building, assuming overhead systems, ground systems, or a combination of both. But since the risks, even mitigate, can also occur, we have also to decide the recovery and rescue strategies. For instance, you can see on the bottom image some strategies proposed for dropping to avoid dropping loads, because dropping a load of 100 tons is almost a disaster. Also for recovery and rescue operation, we designed a multi-purpose rescue vehicles, not only graphical user interface, but also the design of the vehicles. And we hope that in near future to use also drones for inspection. And bootstrapping new ideas outside of nuclear fusion power plants, we have started by the Formula Fusion project. It was building an omnidirectional automated vehicle with a similar configuration of vehicle used in ITER, not so big, but something capable to be used in industrial facilities. That is a payload of 250 kilos. We have started to implement the first model, but given the pandemic situations, we have delayed, but we hope to resume this sooner. Talking about industrial facilities, we recently engaged on a new project, Agile, that was to develop decentralized trajectory optimization for a fleet of industrial mobile robots in the largest automotive assembly plant in Portugal, which is Volkswagen Auto Europa in collaboration with Imagiza. Inspired on radiological protection needs, we decided to develop Maria, a mobile application for radiation intensity assessment. A mobile application that can be installed on a smartphone, then combine the measurements of a GPS receiver with an affordable radiological sensor that can be installed on a USB plug of your smartphone. Then we moved on to put the same software in a mobile phone installed on a drone and to see what could be done. And the result was interesting. We got a heat map estimation of the scenario easily. So, since it works fine in a drone, we decided to move on a more ambitious project, the Friends. The Friends is a fleet of drones for radiological inspection, communication, and rescue. We have performed the first experiments on the real scenarios in the real old ore mines, and we get the 3D reconstruction of the scenario, identifying the most critical points of radiation. Not only you can identify the hotspots, but we can also characterize this hotspot. It means which are the isotopes, then characterize these scenarios. New projects are coming, but we are still looking for new partners and new collaborators. Special thanks for all of the members of IST team who have participated in work herein presented. Old work can be found in journal papers, proceeding papers, conference papers, or other scientific publication that can be easily found in the link in the first QR code, or you can just easily ask directly by email that you can find in the second QR code. Thanks for your attention. Bye bye.